Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The title of my report is Conservation and Research of Mammal Fauna of the Carpathian National Nature Park. My name is Ivanna Kasianchuk. I'm acting head of the Zoological Laboratory in Carpathian National Nature Park in Ukraine. So, this report contains information about the protected state of mammal fauna of the Carpathian National Park, the current state of fauna in the park, which was studied by phenological observations. The current state of species diversity of mammals of the park was determined. Annual surveys of wildlife population are also described, and based on the obtained data, measures were developed to preserve rare fauna in the territory of the park. So, Carpathian National Nature Park is located on the northeastern macroslopes of the Ukrainian Carpathians, in the upper reaches of the Brut and Yaremche river basins in the Ivano-Frankivsk region. Due to the specific ecological conditions of the Carpathians, and in particular the modern territory of the park, the species composition of the fauna is rich and diverse. The main task on the park you can see on the slide. About 200 species of vertebrates and about 600 species of invertebrates have been registered in the park. A rare component of the fauna is represented by 291 species, included in international and national conservation lists. 77 species of animals are listed in the Red Book of Ukraine. So a collection of materials on this topic was conducted for the period to 2019 and 2020 years in the territory of the park. Literary information about this topic have been in books Chronicle of Nature and Inventory of Fauna, scientific funds of the park were used. Visual observation of some species of mammals using stationary and route research methods were conducted. It was identified 53 species of mammals belonging to 17 families on the territory of the park. In general, the studied species of mammals belong 40 genera, 70 families, 6 series, and 4 superseries. The more information you can see on the slide in the number and percent. According to our results, the most diverse and species-rich taxonomic group is Muriformes is 18 species, Caniformes is 13 species, Vespertilioniformes is 10 species, Soritiformes is 8 species, the rest is less numerous. You can see this result in form a chart. The total number of protected species in the Carpathian Park is 172 species. 77 species of animals are listed in the Red Book of Ukraine, 11 species in the European Red List, 120 species are protected by the Berne Convention, 49 species the Bonn Convention, 34 species the CITE edition. 21 species of mammals are listed in the Red Book of Ukraine were found on the territory of the park, with such categories of protection as rare, vulnerable, endangered, and unappreciated. Okay. The vast majority of Red Book species of mammals in the Carpathian National Park have a vulnerable conservation status. 11 species. If, for example, it's this species like Pallis sylvestris, is Pipistrellus, Noctalus noctula, and others. 5 species are rare. It's lynx, Neomis anomalus, Sorex alpinus, and other species. Unappreciated is 3 species, is Lutra, Mystella erminea, and Mystella petrolus. Appreciated species include 2 species representative of the Caniformes series, is Mystella luceola and Ursus arctus. Every year, researchers and rangers on the territory of the Carpathian Park conduct research on the state of wild animals population, namely a survey of the state of some rare and crucial species of animals of the wetlands on the territory of the park, survey of the number of large mammals based on the tracks in January-March, one a year, the relative numbers of red deer, roe deer, wild boar, wolf, fox, brown bear, hare, squirrel, forest marten, river otter, badger, European mink, ermine, lynx, and wildcat. Study of the state of population of rare species of animals listed to the Red Book of Ukraine and international list during May-October on the territory of the park. Conduction of the observations at the phenopoints and complex phenological roads on the faunal diversity of the park. Based on the collect data, precarious measures are developed for the conservation of rare fauna on the territory of the park, which include raids, patrols, days of natural protection are constantly carried out on the territory of the park, which reveal manifestation of poaching in ecosystems, high patrolling of the areas where rare animals were found. Periods of silence in spring, summer, and autumn are held in order to create favorable conditions for the reproduction of animals in the park area. Active ecological and educational work with tourists, vacationers, and local populations. The conclusion about this theme is what Carpathian National Nature Park is the best example for the protection of fauna and flora in Ukraine. The park represents high species diversity of mammal species and the condition for their survival. Many species of mammals have already been lost in the world. And the protected areas are the tool which help to preserve the animal species from their extinction. Scientific studies in the park help to develop management action plans for long-term species protection. Both the rangers protection and scientific approaches create conditions for long preservation of animals population in the park. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ivanna. It was quite interesting. Indeed, the diversity of mammal species in Carpathian National Park seems to be diverse. It's quite interesting to know the facts. It's quite encouraging to look at this statistics of different species at the Carpathian National Park. Thank you so much.